Coming up on this week's Collegian Report, hundreds of volunteers to help welcome some new faces to campus last weekend.
Plus, Larson Commons looks a little different from last year. See the finished renovation coming up.
And see how one professor has been rewarded for his efforts. The Collegian Report starts now. Welcome back to the Collegian Report. I'm Kennedy Foster.
And I'm Ryan Davis. Last Friday was move-in day, and I got to speak with some incoming freshmen and volunteers on how it went.
The weekend before classes start is move-in time for new and returning students living on campus. Freshman Callie Radigan says she's looking forward to being away from home and making new friends.
I live in Vermillion, so I like the distance. I feel like 2 hours is a good distance, and I've just visited the campus and I thought it was a really good fit for me. Meeting new people and kind of just figure out how to live on my own a little bit with friends and everything.
Move-in day is a big job and volunteers are a big part of it.
Over 800 volunteers helped during move-in weekend, including President Barry Dunn, who has volunteered for the past 17 years.
I think we're going to have an outstanding year. You know, of course, we've got all the great athletic events that are going to come, but on the academic side, our new degree programs that we have are full and growing, and so it's just very exciting.
Kristen Ponyo is the assistant director of the graduate school. She has been volunteering on move-in day for 6 years.
I feel like this year's been pretty smooth. A little more streamlined. Last year it rained, so it's been very nice today that it hasn't.
Senior animal science major Blake Kale works in the admissions office and gets to see some of his recruiting work pay off during move-in.
All throughout the year, we're getting ready to welcome the next year's Jackrabbits, and so this is kind of a full circle day. Seeing all those students last year that I was able to give tours to moving in.
After 2 years of renovation, Larson Commons is officially back and newer than ever. The over $16 million project offers students a fresh new look and taste to the dining hall. Students have the freedom to get food from any station right when they walk in. Student feedback told the university that the old horseshoe-shaped design wasn't efficient. Another new change is the new open layout. Assistant Vice President of Student Life Jennifer Novotny says the university's goal was to make Larson Commons more of a social space rather than just for food.
Right where we are right now, the seating area that we're in and some of the different seating upstairs, I am most excited about that because it lends itself for students using the space a little bit more regularly, not just to eat, but sit and visit with their friends, and to really build connection with students.
You can see the new renovations for yourself during their open hours of 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. during the week.
Director of Athletic Bands Kevin Kessler is one of the newest endowed professors on campus. Keith and Glenn Bartles sponsored the endowment. Their family has been involved with the Pride of the Dakotas since the 60s. The university currently has 70 endowed professors, 13 of which belong to the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences.
A trip to Target just got a lot quicker for the students and the community of Brookings. The store opened on July 26th. Before opening, people had to travel to Watertown or Sioux Falls for the nearest Target. The nearly 130,000 square foot store has groceries, household items, clothing, electronics, and beauty products. The store also has a game day ready section with SDSU apparel, giving students another option for finding Jackrabbit gear in town. The store is looking for part-time employees. It is located east of I-29.
SDSU has a new 10-year partnership with Chesterman Coca-Cola. That means Coke products are the only beverages provided on campus. SDSU will get $1.5 million in financial support from the deal. A large percentage will go towards student scholarships, according to a press release from the university. That's a big jump from the $40,000 SDSU used to get annually from the old Coca-Cola and Pepsi contracts. The transition to Coke products has already begun with vending machines and fountain beverages.
All right, coming up, a new statue has sprouted on campus. Find the story behind it in this week's Ag Report.
And still to come, find out who you can see return to the field and the court for 2 Jackrabbit teams to open the season.
This week's Jackrabbit Ag Report is sponsored by SD Corn.
Welcome back to the Jackrabbit Ag Report. I'm Lydia Hill. An SDSU alum whose work saved millions from starvation will be recognized this Saturday. Edgar McFadden will be honored at a ceremony dedicating the new art sculpture outside of McFadden Biostress Lab. McFadden developed a wheat variety in 1925 that was resistant to both stem and leaf rust. McFadden named this new variety Hope. Artist Ronaldo Correa created the art piece called Hope, a helix of resilience. The ceremony will begin at 3:30 p.m. followed by a reception in the SD Corn Gallery inside Raven. Cafes is recognizing 4 eminent leaders in agriculture, family, and community this fall. The banquet on September 18th at McCroy Gardens will recognize Mary Duvall, Patty DeZeo, Kevin Scott, and Jerry Schmitz. Tickets need to be purchased on or before September 4th. The reception begins at 5:30 p.m. followed by a banquet and recognition program at 6:30 p.m. Registration is open for the Farm to Finish Line race this fall. The cross-country style race passes through a dairy barn, weaves through a cornfield, and will finish alongside a sheep pasture, giving participants a unique look at campus. Early bird registration ends on September 6th, with regular registration opening until the day of race on September 26th. All participants will receive a blue finisher's ribbon with breakfast after the race at the Ruminant Nutrition Center. Anyone interested in sponsoring this event can reach out to Allison Arp in Cafes.
So Ryan, will I see you around campus wearing a blue ribbon?
I don't think so. I'm not much of a runner, but let's hope the folks that do join the race have some good weather.
Yes, and now we have Izzy Cox with the weather.
Yeah, Kennedy, it's looking like we'll get some nice weather this weekend. Today we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high around 81 and a south wind up to 20 miles per hour. Tonight there is a chance of rain and thunderstorms, but will cool down again to around 67 degrees. Saturday will be sunny with a high in the mid-80s with football kicking off at 6 p.m. Saturday night will have a low of 68 with some cloud cover. Sunday is looking to be the nicest day of the weekend with sun and a high near 89. At night we'll cool down again to the low 60s. Back to you guys.
Well, that looks like some nice weather, which will be good for sports this weekend.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Lots going on for fall sports.
Yeah, the football team will much enjoy the warm weather, and so will the volleyball team as they travel to California this weekend. Volleyball opens regular season play this weekend. In their first exhibition match, they took on Iowa State on the road and took a 3-1 loss. The Jacks then came home and played Southwest Minnesota State and got a 4-0 win. The Jacks will open regular season in Malibu, California for the Pepperdine tournament. The Jacks opening at Sacramento State at 3 p.m. today, followed by Pepperdine tomorrow at 5 p.m. Then to wrap up the tournament, the Jacks will take on Villanova Sunday at noon. SDSU will return home after their trip to California, and the Jacks will host number 1 ranked Nebraska on September 2nd. The Jacks enter the season with multiple key pieces returning. Outside hitters Sylvie Guntz returns for her senior year after back-to-back Summit League Player of the Year seasons. Senior setter Riley Martin comes back for another year after a Summit League first-team appearance last season. Sophomore Hannah Klein looks to build on a freshman season that earned her a spot on the Summit League All-Freshman team with 233 kills. Other notable pieces include junior Madison Burr, who is currently dealing with an injury, senior Jocelyn Richardson, and former women's basketball star Brooklyn Meyer. The SDSU football team makes their season debut tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium against Stetson. The Jacks are coming off an injury-riddled 9-5 season where they lost to Montana in the second round of the FCS playoffs. SDSU gears up to make another playoff push this season behind some key returning players. Chase Mason returns for his 5th year. Mason threw for just over 2,000 yards last season and had 21 total touchdowns in just 9 games. Mason will lose the team's number 1 target last year in Alex Bullock, but receivers like Lofton Rogroski and Graham Goring are set to return this year. Other key pieces will be back, including sophomore James Basinger, who will be a part of a running back by committee system under Dan Jackson, featuring other backs like Josiah Johnson and Corey Blair Jr. For the Jacks on the defensive side of the ball, the team's top 2 leading tacklers from last season return for their senior seasons in Joe Ullman and Cullen McShane. The team's top 2 sack leaders in Logan Green and Dustin Raperta will also be back. For tomorrow night's game against Stetson, Jackrabbit fans are encouraged to wear blue. There will be a new and improved game day experience at Dana J. Dykehouse this fall. Concessions will now have new food options including tacos, 3 mac and cheese options, cinnamon sugar pretzel bites, and the facility is also opening 2 new ice cream kiosks and a concession stand in the South Concourse. For parking, Jackrabbit Club members will be divided into 3 different sections, Northwest, Southwest, and East. Club members with season tickets are able to choose a zone and park in that zone for all home games. General parking can be found in multiple lots south of the North Campus Drive. Parking will cost $10 per stall and all payments will be cashless. Students can claim their free tickets by logging into their student accounts at gojacks.com/student tickets. Student tickets open at 9 a.m. Tuesday of each week. Progress is being made on the new SDSU soccer stadium. Dakota Layers Stadium will be the new home of Jackrabbit soccer, replacing Fishback Soccer Park. On July 28th, a groundbreaking ceremony was held on the grounds of the stadium. University President Barry Dunn, Athletic Director Justin Sell, members of the Jackrabbit soccer team, and the Ramsdale family of Dakota Layers LLC all spoke at the ceremony. The stadium will be on campus, located at the corner of Jackrabbit Avenue and North Campus Drive, east of Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. The facility is expected to be completed in August of 2027.
Sounds like a lot of cool stuff in the sports world. I know I'm especially excited for the Nebraska game on Wednesday.
Yep, and I'm super excited that our first football game is at home tomorrow.
A lot of cool games coming up for the Jacks this season.
Yes.
Thank you, Cordell.
Thanks.
Thank you. And it sounds like students aren't the only ones excited. Coming up, see how Brookings celebrated SDSU downtown.
Looking to stay up to date on news around campus? Collegian Media is SDSU's student-run newspaper, radio station, and newscast. From writing to anchoring, taking photos and videos, or selling advertising, Collegian Media gives students in any major the opportunity to get involved. To learn more or to see what's happening on campus, you can visit sdsucollegian.com.
The Collegian Report wardrobe is sponsored by Trends, the sustainable fit.
Welcome back. The Pride made their first appearance at Downtown at Sundown on Thursday. Brookings Regional Growth Alliance ended the last night of their 5-week summer concert series, welcoming students back on campus. Downtown at Sundown is a free event featuring live music, games, food vendors, and various entertainment depending on that week's theme. Thursday night's theme was SDSU.
I think this year overall on average has been our biggest year. We've been over 3,000 attendees every night. And then we have SDSU night, which is pretty much always our biggest night of the year.
Their goal is to create a place for community members of all ages to come together. That's all for the Collegian Report this week.
You can stay up to date on the latest news online at sdsucollegian.com or on social media at SDSU Collegian Media.
Thanks for watching.